So good afternoon and welcome to 25X Trading. It's about quarter after 12 and I'm making this video. I did trade this morning and the video went sideways on me a little bit. So I decided I'm going to just do a recap, show you the good, the bad, the indifferent at this point. And to be honest with you, it really wasn't any good today. Okay, I made a mistake today. Actually, it was just bad. Simple as that. So, to give you an idea of what happened, I went into. Let's recap this, okay? So, this morning I was looking at it, and some of the things that I wanted to look at were NVIDIA, IBIT, TQQs, Palantir, and BBAI. So those were five I was looking at, their support levels and stuff. And I got into Palantir first, and when I got into Palantir, basically I got out real quick because I didn't want to diversify between two stocks. And what I mean by that is that I got into Palantir and I felt like it was going to go down, which it did. It was going to reclaim and close the gap for the morning and then retake a new high because of the new contract that was happening. Pretty much it did do that. So it did do that. Unfortunately, I didn't have enough brains to stay in it. So let's take a look at Palantir, okay? And then we'll get into where we went wrong today and explain what happened, because it was a disaster. It was an absolute disaster, and it happens. It absolutely happens. So here it was. We got in. I wanted to be patient this morning. I wasn't, okay? It dipped down, and then I started seeing the candles going up, and I got into it real quick, okay? Very small position, nothing big, right? And it hovered for a couple minutes, and I said, you know what? I don't want to play two things. I think this is going to close the gap to 182.50, which is where the support was. And you could see it closed it, and it shot right back up. It went down, closed the gap, boom, shot back up. So I said, you know what? Let's take a look at Netflix. Wow, look at Netflix, what it's done this morning, okay? And we went into Netflix, and here it was. Basically, I get into Netflix, and I'm looking at it. It's below, it hits the EMA, okay? Bounces down, and then it starts to charge back up. So I'm like, oh, wow, you know what? I think this might be able to breach it up, okay? Because right now, it's looking at the 50, it's approaching to the 200, and then possibly it's going to be heading up. So I said, yeah, you know what? Let me try this. So we get in, and it starts to make a churn. Not big, not a big position at this point, okay? So we get in, and then it proceeds to tank down. It goes from, our average was about 95.60, and it goes down to about 95. I feel at that point it's going to hold the 95 level. That's the most critical level that we want to hold, is around 95, 95.15, right in that ballpark. And we're like, okay, if it holds it, good. It starts to come up. We look at it, we think about it, we don't add to it. It dips back down. Now, here, this is where we get crushed, okay? At around 10:30, and I've been in this way too long at this point. At this point, it's at 95.50. That's the mark we were looking at from the beginning for that breakout. Hits 95.50, it starts churning up, it gets to 95.64. Now we're starting to see some daylight. We add a tremendous amount, and at that point, we see it reclaim back to 95.27. We're thinking that it's going to retrace, okay? Unfortunately, it becomes total resistance and flushes down. We get stopped out. Tremendous loss. We loaded up on it. We get stopped out, and it really was a disaster. It's something that wasn't even on my watch list, and to be honest with you, you take these days. I'm not happy about it, and it really was a disaster. Not going to say anything else, but we played our odds. Where we went wrong, and where I went wrong 1,000%, is my money management. I became greedy, and I really thought I'm gonna load up here. This is where I was. Okay. Prior to this, I only had 100 shares. It would not have been a huge loss. I had 100 shares. I loaded up to almost 1,100 shares. So my stop came out. I took the loss. Next thing I know, I'm down. I basically just rocketed down, and I got stopped out. And that's what ended up happening. Is that when it breached the 95 level, I was gone. I lost it, and there's nothing I could do about it. And it was something that I wish I had not done. The stock, meanwhile, had we gone just into Palantir, which we love playing, okay? Had we just gone into Palantir, where did it end up? Right here, at the 182 level, okay? 182.50 was where we were trying to track it in. So to look specifically where it was, where it bottomed out was right here, 182.70. So we could have started buying there at 182.69 with the idea of going to 182.50, and that was the support level right there, okay? And it just rocketed up, and that's the part that kills me, okay? Another one that we looked at was Big Bear AI. We were eyeing this one as well. This one we were looking at, and I just don't even know what to say about this one. This one was a rocket ship. So, it hit down to here at 650 was our call where we were looking for it. Breached it below 650. So this one was a little bit of a short, not as a sure ride. So this did breach it, but look what it just did. It went up to 690. Almost a 10% run up. It was incredible. From where we were to where it was, almost 10%, Intel is another one that we looked at. So, first things first, what we do is, I have up here, and we have other charting systems, but I use Thinkorswim at home, because a lot of people use Thinkorswim. It's free, or Schwab. It's free. All you have to do is open an account. It doesn't matter how much you have in. I think it's a couple $1,000s, and you get real-time quotes in there. Okay, I have some of my long-term stocks in there that I'm just whatever. I put it away and stuff, and it is what it is. I don't trade on this because this is pay for order flow, just like Robinhood, just like Webull. So you're going to be losing money. Granted, I lost money today. Like I said, I was down about $1,000. Huge loss in our road. So if we look at where we are right now, as of this morning, we just basically gave back about 35% of our profit. Really, and our goal was 82.37, and we hit that goal within 30 seconds, and we just got greedy. Absolutely just got greedy. And it happens. There's nothing I could do about it. It was a stupid move. This is the part about trading that you have to learn. Okay, are we up? Yeah. Did I want? Truthfully, if I didn't have a stop in there, I'd probably be going crazy now. I'd still be pissed. But I've gotten to the point where I could take $1,000 loss and say it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? I just basically 9, 10. I just lost the whole week from December 4th to now. I just gave it all back. Absolutely just gave it all back. So, if I want to look at it that way, yeah, it annoys me, but we're still up 50%, and tomorrow's another day, and we've just got to regroup and just say, okay, fine, you know what? We're still up where we're supposed to be. We're still up $309. Our cushion is not where we should be, okay? But you take chances, and Netflix was just, I still believe, once it starts to get above 195, that it's going to turn. You can see clearly that's where the support and resistance is. So once it gets above 95, yeah, it's going to turn. But I'm done for the day. At this point, I hit my stop loss and I shut it down. I do not go back into it trying to target back things. So that's where it was. And from a mental standpoint, it's the hardest thing in the world. You can't say, well, I'm up 1,500 or 1,300 or whatever. In roughly 1 month's time, we're up 50%. In 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17 trading days. Okay, 2 of those days we did not do a trade. So in 15 days of trading, we've averaged about $100 a day. Okay, which is our target. You know what I'm saying? So that's where you have to look at and say, okay, fine, I'm up 1,500, 100 a day. What am I trying to shoot for $1,000? It's kind of stupid. So at that point, I got to stop paring down the losses, and I got to put that loss in red. All right, there we go. All right, so we've had 2 losing days right now. So let me pair that. Loser, loser. All right. So cumulative, we're up 50%. Starting balance was 3,000. We're about 4,500, and it happens. It happens. So not good. So tomorrow we're going to be starting off about 4,500. Our target goal is going to be $84, and that's all we're doing. I don't care if it takes me 20 trades to get $84. I'm not risking anything. I want to get back on the wagon because next week I will not be able to trade. I'm going to be away on business. So next week we're going to be taking off the whole time. And then with the holidays coming up, it is what it is. So you can see how much of a disaster it was. 2,300 shares, almost 1,200 shares in, 1,200 shares out almost. 1,150 actually to be exact. So absolutely stupid. And meanwhile, Palantir 20 shares. I had a great idea until I didn't have a great idea. So that's it. You know what? We're total disclosure. All right. Have a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.